America does not want you to know that Apple's biggest competitor is fully owned by its workers. The company I'm talking about recently paid $9 billion in dividends to its 130,000 employees, current and retired. I'm talking about Huawei and why America fears it so much. The story begins in 1987 when Huawei was registered as a regular private company in Shanghai. But in 1990, its founder Zhang Jingfei had a falling out with other investors. These investors wanted to keep the profits while he wanted to reinvest them into research. Huawei used to make switches back then and Zhang had bigger ambitions. After this fight, Huawei faced a choice. What sort of a company did they want to become? Option 1, become a corporation. But that means no risk, no innovation, because failure means stocks will fall. For example, despite having $4 trillion of cash in hand, Apple doesn't lead in innovation. And in the last 10 years, they have spent a big chunk of this money, over $700 billion, just in buying back their own stocks whenever they fall, just to artificially keep their stock prices up. To Zhan, this was an inferior and wasteful model. All that money can go into research. So he went for option 2. 1% of the stock is owned by the CEO and the rest 99% is owned by a trade union whose members are all current and retired employees. These stocks cannot be traded in the stock market. It's in their basic law to pursue innovation over profits. And the data shows, in just 10 years, by 2008, Huawei ranked number 1 worldwide in patent application filings. This growth had started to threaten the West even in 2010, when the US and Australia banned them from supplying 4G. Then, in 2018, their internet companies stopped providing service on Huawei phones. Despite all this, in 2018, Huawei beat Apple in sales. And by 2020, they had beaten Samsung to become the biggest smartphone company by sales in the world. And despite recent US sanctions, they grew 22% from 2023 to 2024 and launched the world's first triple fold phone and this cool app fully touchscreen laptop. The West banned Huawei, saying they work with the Chinese government to spy on people. Something with no proof and pretty ironic considering Edward Snowden leaked American government data to show that it is the US which uses iPhones to spy on governments around the world, including on Angela Merkel, which by the way Germany took no action against. In sharp contrast, after spying allegations, Huawei opened review centers in UK where the government and corporate clients had full access to inspect their source code, but it changed nothing because the accusations of spying are just an excuse. In reality, what the West really hates is that a worker-owned company that they can't buy out or control is more innovative and successful than their biggest private players. Huawei's success threatens the lies that the West has told about the superiority of their corporate models. It exposes that the West yaps about free market and trade only till their companies can stay on top.